When you want to apply a dimension in Garden CAD, you first have to set a dimension style. If you click Settings, or in the older versions of Garden CAD you have to click the Edit drop-down, you'll find Dimension Style. And I've set a dimension style here called Paul 1 to 50. The drafter is Paul, and we want to plot it out at a scale of 1 to 50. So I set my lines, arrowheads, text and units. You notice here's 50. We set these appropriately. Then when we want to apply a dimension, it's just a matter of draw and dim and linear. We snap to the point that we are interested in, and then come across to here and then up, and Garden CAD finds the 3 meters for the dimension distance, plots it all in, gets it all nicely lined up. You'll notice that I'm using the background grid to help me line things up. So that's how we apply dimensions. They'll stay with the drawing. They don't change. The only way you can change them is if you click on a dimension and, click on a dimension and right click and explode it. Then you can change the number, but you shouldn't do that. This is another check on the way and the accuracy of your drafting. You'd worry about these figures over here, 2118 and 1925. Maybe our fundamental design for the pool needs some tweaking. So it's a really good double check. When it's time to transfer this information to the pages, it's just a matter of selecting everything in the view and then edit and copy. And then we'll go to the pages palette. We'll create a new page. There's already one there called irrigation. Let's make a new one. I'll just check irrigation's on an A2 at 420. So we'll make a new one, and we'll also make it on A2, and we'll just call it test for the moment, because that's all we are doing. And we'll go OK. Then we can zoom extents, and we're looking at the A2 sheet. Now we can paste from the clipboard the information that we're dragging across. So there's our A2 sheet, and the magenta colour is the objects that we've copied. We'll right click and create a block which we'll call TTT, just for the sake of argument. That means it's one block. So now we can pick it and scale it down by whatever factor we want. Let's make it a little easy first. We'll go 0.01, which is 1 to 100, and see how that looks. Way down here is our scaled drawing information. Now you'll see the value of having it as a single block. We can move it and drop it and put it directly onto the sheet. Then a quick zoom extents will show us how we're going. Now clearly 1 to 100 is too small, so we can very easily scale that up. So scale it there and double it. So we're making it 1 to 50, and then we should be able to drag it across, move it across. From there we'll come over here and see if we can fit the whole thing on the sheet. I'll just close that email that's coming in. So here we are, not quite right. At this point I might well explode what I've got. Whoops, we won't, will we? Look what's happened to the dimension when we've exploded it. So there's a word of warning for you. We will edit and undo. So what I do need to do, the point of the story was to talk to you about these dimensions. They come over precisely. Now when we plot this sheet out, let's fix it first. I need to move it, don't I? I'll move from there and make sure that everything's on the paper. So we have our design. He says, move from there across to there. Great, we've got everything on the page. Now you'll notice the dimensions come with us. They can't be altered at this stage. The scales are right. The numbers are right. When we go to plot, it's just file and print, and in this case we'll say 1 equals 1 drawing unit. We're not going to pick scale to fit, because we've already scaled this down by 1 to 50. This is a 1 to 50. We're printing 1 to 1 on a full A2 size piece of paper, so we have to change. In this case I'll click execute PDF, we pick A2, and we want landscape view. OK that. Now we should be able to pick window and pick. And as a starter, I've still got snap on, haven't I? I'll take it off. As a starter, I'll just put a box around that which I want to see, and then we'll preview that. So that's going 1-to-1 onto an A2 sheet, and we've scaled by 1-to-50. So we could in fact put a scale rule on there and scale from here if we'd been very careful about our plotter and accuracy of our plotter and so on. But the value of putting the dimensions on here, you can put a note down the bottom that just says, do not scale off this drawing. The dimensions written on the sheet take precedence over everything else, and your construction team need to verify those numbers on site. So it's very dangerous to scale off the drawing, but we can legitimately plot or write down the bottom here in our title block area, A2 sheet, scale 1-to-50.